to the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hi everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Happy Wednesday, happy middle of the week. Hope everything is going lovely for you. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for the weekend. Now I am using a brand new microphone. It's a $30 microphone I got from Amazon, and I think it's working out pretty good. For the money, I think it's pretty decent, but please let me know if the sound is any better. I know a few people were complaining about it. Now I do live in a very noisy area with a lot of, AC units, and I'm recording on a 5-year-old MacBook here. So I'm doing the very best I can, but I think this microphone is a little bit clearer. So please let me know below if the sound is better. But we have a lot of juicy Royal Daily Tea to get through, so sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So we know, we've heard this story several times, how when Harry and William first started to rift, or their relationship started to drift apart, it was because of Meghan. I mean, none of us are surprised, but William was one of the first people who kind of got a red flag when Harry brought Miss Megsy around. They were very unsure of a divorced American actress coming into the royal fold, getting around Harry. Meghan's very pushy. She's very assertive, not afraid to, throw her opinion around. And we all see how she does the Meghan claw. So I'm sure William and Catherine were a little taken aback by her assertiveness, asserting her opinion, being very over affectionate. And they probably had a little bit of concern for Harry rushing this relationship. Harry had said his relationship in a period of 2 months had gone from 0 to 360. Remember, 6 months or 7 months into their relationship, Meghan was pressuring Harry to make that announcement, telling the press to leave her alone. She's not my mother. Leave her alone. Remember that whole speech he made? And literally, she was demanding protection, that every time she would fly into Heathrow, she had armed bodyguards escorting her, from the plane to a limousine or whatever it was. Meghan wanted the top-notch VIP royal service. She was barely dating him. They were not engaged. And here he is making a speech. Then she does the Vanity Fair article. Then they have to have a conversation about, no, Meghan's not going to get security. And then she was pushing Harry to do all of these things really early on in the relationship. So of course, many people are going to have red flags. And William, his older brother, was like, slow your roll, bro. Take your time. What's the rush? But Megsy was like on a mission. She wanted to get her ring on that finger. She needed to get a baby out. She needed to get that wedding, and she needed to get that title. She was a 35-year-old actress with not a lot of prospects. Her clock was a ticking, and here comes William being a thorn in her side. William became public enemy number 1 to Miss Megsy because he was putting doubt in Harry. And Harry was very subjectable, and he used to look up to his brother. He depended on his brother for everything. His brother was his number 1 support system, and Meghan needed to replace William with herself. She needed to come in and wedge William out of this equation, and she did just that. Now, according to Tom Bower's book, Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, he spoke to over 80 people who know Harry and Meghan personally. And one of the big takeaways that he found was that many people within Harry's personal circle, not only his family and extended family, but all of his colleagues, none of them got a really good impression of Meghan. As we mentioned in my previous video, she didn't do a very good impression with his Etonian buddies when she went away for the weekend at Sandringham. So now she's walking around, meeting the family, and people are really less than impressed, thinking, yeah, she's definitely not the one. Now, at some weird point, Harry was convinced that Meghan had that Diana essence. He really thought that the spirit of his mother was living inside of Meghan. According to Tom Bower, he was convinced that she had a lot of similarities between Meghan and his late mother, so much so that when he introduced Meghan to Earl Spencer, Lady Diana's brother, and her two sisters, Lady Sarah and Baroness Jane Fellows, they all failed to see any similarities between Diana and Meghan, and he was extremely disappointed that they weren't seeing that she had the Diana magic. Somehow, Meghan had convinced Harry that she literally embodied his dead mother. Again, we know she was wearing her perfume, she was dressing like her, she was trying to act like, I'm an ambassador of the world and I love the children like his mom. For whatever reason, Harry really believed that Meghan looked like and acted like his mother. This is very strange. And no one else saw this. Everyone's like, no, they look nothing alike. They act nothing alike. But again, Meghan was planting these really weird seeds within Harry, kind of taking over the Princess Diana 2.0 role. And in my personal opinion, that is how she snared him. She played upon his weaknesses and his abandonment issues of losing his mother at such a young age. So here she comes saying, look at me, I'm just like your mom. Now, according to Tom Bower, he writes, quote, in early September 2017, Kate revealed that she was expecting her third child. Prone to sickness and pregnancy, she curtailed her public appearances. Since the Vanity Fair article had increased the Cambridge's suspicion of Meghan, the actress discovered that her neighbor in Kensington Palace had even less time for her. By then, Harry had introduced Meghan to Diana's sisters, Jane and Sarah, and her best friend, Julia Samuel. Harry assumed that Diana's family and friends would see a similarity between Diana and his fiancée. Both, he said, shared the same problems. He was disappointed. No one agreed that his vulnerable mother had anything in common with his girlfriend. More discomforting for him, they thought Meghan would not fit in with royal life. So again, she wasn't making a very good impression with Harry's inner circle, but he was not listening. Now, he continues, their unease was voiced by Charles Spencer, Diana's brother. At William's request, Spencer weighed in. He said, quote, the 3 times married Spencer cautioned his nephew to reconsider his haste towards marriage. His advice provoked a bitter reaction. This was going to be really hard. Harry would later reflect on establishing Meghan's place in the family. One of the recurring concerns was insufficient money if they married. Although Harry annually received about $1.5 million from Charles, Meghan had been advised to continue acting to supplement their income. Uh-oh. By that point, Meghan knew that her agent, Nick Collins, that her acting prospects were limited. Omid Scobie, her official biographer, would accurately summarize her exit from Hollywood. Quote, she wanted a more meaningful career. She could be doing so much more with her platform. Her frustration remained. She was tantalizingly close to sealing her future, but nothing was official. So again, she was jumping off of the Titanic, landing herself into the royal family. So there you have it. You have people in Harry's inner circle telling him you really want to rethink this relationship and this marriage. You have Meghan pushing it because she doesn't have anything else. Meghan doesn't have any acting prospects lined up. Harry was her plan B, and her plan B was working out like gangbusters if she can get the ring on her finger, get married, get the baby, get the title, get the wedding, get the fame, the fortune, and then go back to Hollywood as a Duchess. This was literally the only thing she could do at this point because her acting career was in the toilet. If her relationship with Harry would not have led to marriage, Really, where would she be? Maybe dating some footballer? She would not have gotten the worldwide fame that she so desperately craved. Again, Meghan was really looking for this, quote, platform to put herself to better use, to get into politics, to be taken seriously. And how can she do that? Well, by marrying Prince Harry. Prince Harry, like I've said before, put her on the worldwide map. Literally, the worldwide map. But she had a problem. Prince William. They had a close relationship, so she had to chip away at that. People who are narcissistic need to be the number one and the only one in somebody's life. So she got Harry all wound up, started planting doubt, started telling him things like, William doesn't like me, he's not welcoming me, he's not doing enough. According to Tom Bauer, Harry talked to William and said, you're not welcoming Meghan enough. You're not making her feel welcome. So you have to make more of an effort to accept her. And I've been around people like that where they'll literally make up scenarios that never happened. And they always feel like you're not doing enough to show your appreciation. They don't feel loved. They don't feel accepted. They're very, very insecure and they're very, very needy. And they also play the victim card. So again, Meghan is perpetually the victim. Harry, you have to save me. I'm just like your mom. They're picking on me. The press is chasing me. William is being mean to me. People are being racist. You got to help me. She's constantly feeding him these seeds. And Harry, in my opinion, is so scared of losing her. Just like he lost his mom, he has a fear of abandonment. He can't lose his mommy, part two. He will do anything to keep her. He's desperate. So people like Meghan, they create the narrative of being the victim. They have very selective memory, and they get their flying monkeys to start defending them. So she put Harry in there. Go talk to William and tell him he's not being welcoming, and he needs to do more for me. And go tell the press secretary they need to call all the newspapers and make sure they take down all of those negative stories about me. Literally yelling at her assistants to go erase Google, to threaten all the publications who were saying negative things about her. But again, people can't control the narrative. They can't control the actions or publications of everyone out there. So in her opinion, she has all these perceived slights in her head. People are now walking on eggshells, afraid of saying the wrong thing. So now she's effectively put a wedge between Prince William and Prince Harry. Now here's the even worse thing that she did. She convinced Prince Harry that Prince William and his team orchestrated a smear campaign against Meghan. She literally convinced Harry that all the negative press that was in the papers was coming from William and his office. So she definitely was chipping away at this relationship. So Meghan was definitely doing some gardening. She was planting her seeds of doubt and victimhood, and it was growing and manipulating and poisoning the relationship between Harry and William, to the point where the brothers no longer speak. And people say, well, they had a rocky relationship before Meghan. No, they didn't. They had a typical brother relationship. They might have had explosive fights, but there was a lot of love there. You could tell in previous photos, in previous videos. They were brothers. Brothers have ups and downs. But now that you look at them, it is night and day. And what is the difference? Meghan. Before Meghan, after Meghan, you cannot convince me that she was not the number one main reason why that relationship deteriorated. That is my opinion. She played the victim card. Another royal biographer had come out and said that William and Harry will never be able to mend their relationship as long as Meghan plays the victim card, and I 100% believe it. I don't believe that William and Harry will ever be able to mend their relationship until after Harry and Meghan are divorced, if they ever divorce. because Meghan will not allow Harry to have any kind of real relationship with his family. And let me tell you what narcissists do, because I know someone who was married to one, and this is the sick thing that they do. They play the victim card, they cause problems, they break up families, they isolate the person they're in the relationship with to where they're on an island of one. They become literally their only person in their life. Most of their friends and family are gone. They cause a lot of hurt, a lot of pain for years. Then all of a sudden they act like they're Mother Teresa reincarnated. Well, I just want to forgive and forget and move forward. I'm willing to forgive and forget. Let's all have Christmas. And you're like, you're willing to forgive and forget because you're the person who did everything, but we're supposed to forgive and forgive you. But they act like they're the bigger person. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. Remember when Harry and Meghan were like, we'll tell the Queen, we'll go in there and we'll do the sensitivity training. We're willing to forgive and forget and move forward. And everyone's like, what? You're willing to forgive and forget. Well, you're the one who actually did all the problems. We didn't do anything. We don't need to, you don't need to forgive anything on our part. You're the one who attacked us. And they're like, let bygones be bygones. As a matter of fact, we're willing to come in and do sensitivity training for the palace, which I think is hilarious considering the fact Harry had to do his own sensitivity training. It's like, is he bringing his notes that he took from his previous class to teach everyone? They act like bygones be bygones, forgive and forget, kumbaya, move forward. Then when people actually do it and people start to become close again and have a relationship, all of a sudden they don't like it anymore. And then they start drama again. And then they break it apart. Literally rinse and repeat. I've seen it happen to a friend of mine literally like 10 times. That's what happens. They break apart the family. They cause a lot of hurt and pain. It doesn't hurt them, but everyone else. Then they decide, oh, I'm going to be nice. Okay, let's be family. Then people are like, okay, let's make up. And then they get close. And then they're like, well, you're getting too close now. Everyone's happy. And fall for it so many times before you realize it's never going to be where you want it to be, because that person will never allow it. They will never allow it. So as long as Meghan is in Harry's life, and unfortunately for Archie and Lilibet, those children are never going to know their family on either side, because Megsy doesn't want them. She's controlling. And you think she's controlling Harry, she's going to be even worse with those children. Those are her collateral. That's mommy's dividends. Mommy's future, her retirement. That's mommy's plan C. When shit hits the fan and she needs money, I got those kids. And guess who's going to pay that child support if Harry and Meghan divorce? Daddy, Prince Charles, up for the rescue, because Prince Harry isn't going to have enough to pay her. He's going to have to go to Dad and say, Daddy, can you write me a check to pay the witch every year, every month for that child support? Mark my words, Daddy's going to come to the rescue if they get divorced, which we don't know if they are. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Hope everyone enjoyed the royalty. I'm sorry if it was long or short. It's just been a crazy day. But let me know your thoughts below. Do you think that Meghan is the reason why William and Harry are no longer close as brothers? And do you think they will ever have a reconciliation? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and please be sure to come back for another video. Bye, guys.